Hi, I'm Sue Kasser. I'm happy to be here helping out with the big October event and the wellness exercise sessions. I have been teaching at the University of Vermont for 25 plus years, and during that time my work focuses mainly on balance and fall prevention and exercise programs for people with MS. I'm not quite used to not seeing people in front of me directly, but I'm happy to help with this event virtually. And my first class is a class that's focused on functional fitness, which means that the exercises that we will be doing incorporate everyday movements. They help with performance of everyday movements. So they're not just strength and balance, but they help with control and coordination and stability and the core and all the things that make us perform activities during the day in a much more effective and successful way. So we're going to start with just a little bit of a warm up, and then we're going to go into the exercises. I'll give you some modifications and adaptations to those, since I don't know you, and you're going to have to make some of those. I'll show you many of those as we go through. And again, if you're needing to rest at any time, just have a seat or do less repetitions. There's ways to make it less intense, and I'll share those as we go through. But we're just going to do a slight dynamic warm-up just to get our muscles ready for exercise, and we'll start with arm circles. Nice and slow and easy, small circles going to the front. If you're standing and you need to separate your feet a little bit for better balance, that's fine. If you need to hold on, you could do one arm at a time and hold on with the other. And now we're going to go backwards. Just trying to get that shoulder region warmed up. All right, and let's cross our arms nice and slow in front of our trunk. My arms are extended, nice and slow. At any time, if you need to sit down, you can do this sitting. All right. Now we're going to do some marching. Again, if you need to hold on, you can hold on. But basically, you're just going to loosen up that hip joint and that lower trunk region, and just doing some slow marches. Legs don't have to come up very high. Nice and slow. Trying to keep my base of support wide if I need that for stability. All right, the next one is heel kicks. So I'm just kicking my heels up behind me. Again, they don't have to come up very high. If I need to hold on, I can hold on. I'm just warming up my lower extremities. And the last warm up, I'm going to just go up and do heel raises. So I'm just coming up on my toes. Again, if you need to hold on, go ahead and hold on. Widen that base so you can have a little bit more stability. We're just getting ready for exercise here. This is a dynamic warm-up. It's not meant to be any stretching or work on flexibility. We'll do a little stretching at the end. Okay, so our first exercise is what we call a mini squat with an arm press. And again, there's different ways to do this. You can make it more intense or less intense. So let me show you this exercise first, is the mini squat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squat down. My knees don't come forward of my toes, and I'm going to come back up from the side. My hips go back first. I sit down, and then I come up. Now again, you don't have to go down very far, and you don't have to do too many. And you can hold on if you need to. The motion looks like this. So I'm going to come down, and as I go up, I'm going to press up with my hands. Everything comes down, my hips are back and up. Again, holding on. I'm going to do 10 of them. All right, I'll stay for the side. So we sit back and then reach up. There's one. Don't go down too far if you need to. You can make it less intense. My trunk is staying up. 4. If you need to stop, that's fine. 5. I can go down just a little and come up as 6. I can go down a little deeper, 7. Can hold on. 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Again, anytime you need to sit and take a rest, please take a seat and rest. Or if we're doing 10 repetitions and you don't need or want to do 10, or you're getting tired, just do a few less. It's hard to know what your level is. So if this is the first time you're exercising and doing these exercises, be conservative with the numbers, because you might feel good now, but you know, after a while, the fatigue might set in. All right, now we're going to be doing a forward lunge, and our arms are going to go to the side. So you see how I'm incorporating my upper and lower body together. So again, my feet are shoulder width apart or a little further. I can hold on if I want to. One leg is going to come out, and my back knee drops just a little bit. And then I come back. Okay? I'm not moving my whole body forward. My knee should not be over my toe. So basically, I step and then I just drop that back knee a little bit and come back. Right? This is what it looks like with the arm extension. And then we'll do them together. I come out, hold my arms out, and my arms come in. I'm going to do 5 on one leg and 5 on the other. Ways to modify this: don't step so far, don't go down so far, or holding on. But make sure when you step that your legs are apart. You're not in a tandem stance. Keep that base wide. Okay, we'll do 5 on the right side first. I step, come out, and come back. That's 1. I step, my back knee goes down, is 2. And 3, again, don't step far or don't go down as far if you need to. And 1 more. Okay, we're going to do the other side, same thing, keep that base of support wide as you do this exercise. I step out, my back knee goes down a little bit, and then I come back. Come out, and back. Keep that base wide. It's 3, and I push back. And 4, and come back, and do 1 more. And back. Good. Okay, shake it out. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. This exercise is trying to work on the outside of our lower extremities, those muscles that we need to strengthen to keep that base wide. Sometimes we tend to narrow our base because these muscles get tight and these muscles aren't as strong. So we want to strengthen these muscles on the outside of our hips. So this is called opening and closing the gate. So what you're going to do, and you can do this with a chair or without, I start with a nice wide base of support. And what I do is I lift my leg up, and then I open the gate. It's almost like it's a gate. It opens and I come down. And then I lift it up and close the gate. Show you one more time. I lift it up. Doesn't have to come very high. I open the gate and come down. I lift it up and close the gate. Right? Really working those external rotators and those abductors. So we're going to do 5 on each side. Again, holding on is fine. All right, start with the right. I open the gate, and I close the gate. It's 2, and 3, and 4, 1 more, and 5. Now, if you're having trouble doing that and you can't lift and externally rotate, even stepping out to the side is working some of those muscles. So let's do the other side. Again, if you can open the gate and close it, great. If not, just do a side step. Open the gate, come in, and close the gate. open the gate. Where would I use this movement? Probably if I'm getting into the passenger side of a car, maybe. But those muscles are important. That's 3. Show you the other one is 4. And last one, opening and closing. Great. All right, we're going to do some seated work just to give us a break before we get back up on our feet. So we have a great time to have a chair. I probably should have said that in the beginning. I'm going to do a little bit of core work, which is really important for our function. The core is our trunk, and it's working to offer us some stability. If I have more stability here, then I'm going to have more control out here. And it's not just working the abdomen or the stomach or the back, it's working as a unit. And we're going to work on our core today in a couple of different ways. So the first is, what I'd like you to do is in your chair, if you can move, to the front of the chair so you're not sitting way back, resting against the back of the chair, but move up so that you have some room between your back and the back of the chair. What I'd like you to do is you're going to lean back slightly. You should feel your core engaged. And then come back up. And when you do this, you want to try not to hold your breath, right? So we're going to come back, try to breathe, and come up. Again, if you want to go back further, that's a little bit more intense. You can't go back too far. You'll feel your engages, pulling your belly button towards your spine. So why don't we try that? Pull your belly button in towards your spine and lean back. Make sure you take a breath and come up. You're going to feel the core. This is a area of our body that we don't really focus on too much. Okay, pull that belly button into your spine. Come on back. I can use my hands here. I can even hold myself in the chair as long as I'm getting that work in my core. And come back up. Belly button into spine. Lean back. And come back up. All right, now we're going to do, they call it the dead bug exercises because when bugs are on their back, you know how their arms and legs are going? Well, that's what we're going to do for our core. So the first thing I do is engage my core, bring that belly button back to my spine, and I'm going to lean back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my arms and my legs like this. And if you can't lift your legs, because these muscles, these hip flexors are small muscles, they get tired quickly, that's fine. You can either just hold it up for a little bit and then rest it and hold the other one up, or you can just do this with your arms or just your legs, any way that you get your limbs moving while your core is engaged. So I'm going to engage my core, I'm going to lean back, and then I'm just going to do that marching, or what we call dead bug. And again, if this is too hard, I can just hold my leg up and do it and switch, or I can do both and rest. You might be feeling it in these hip flexors. Let's just do our arms for the next one. Engage your core, bring that core belly button into your spine, lean back just slightly, and let's do that arm movement. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, make sure you're breathing, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, just give yourself a little twist here just to kind of get a little loose so that we're not overdoing it. When we do our Fitness for Function 2 class, which is either the next week or the week after, we'll be doing some of these things, but they'll have an added piece to it. So hopefully you'll find these exercises interesting, different, and if done over time, beneficial. Okay. The next exercise is, again, I'm sitting on my seat. We're working on my back extension muscles, my postural muscles that, gravity over time gets us a little bit flexed and forward. We want to open that up and strengthen those anti-gravity muscles in the back. So my feet are on the floor, shoulder width apart, sitting firmly in my seat. I'm not going to fall off my seat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward. Again, you do not have to go far forward. I'm going to leave my hands here so that I can help my low back so that I don't put too much pressure on it. I'm going to come forward. Again, I'm supporting myself here. And then when I come up, I'm going to reach to my armpits. Now you could have a TheraBand, and we aren't using any weights or resistance exercise, but this would be a good one for that. Again, I'm coming down, and then I'm opening up. And again, I'm just bringing my elbows back. It's almost like the row machine. I come forward, and then I row. I come forward, nice and slow, and then I row back. Come forward and row. And if you need to support your trunk, don't go too far, and then just come up. And go a little further if you feel comfortable using those hands to support yourself so you don't hurt your low back. And row, 2 more. And forward and row, open up that chest, and forward and row. Perfect. All right, one more while we're sitting, catching our breaths. I'm going to be working on our a functional movement of pushing. So if you think about function, during the day, we lift, we carry, we pull, we push, and these movements are aimed at trying to help those movements. Well, one of the things that we want to do is work on that pushing motion. And an easy way to do that while you're resting, or if you don't have equipment, is to do what they call a tricep push down or a chair push down. So again, my feet are on the floor, my seat is firm, so I'm stable. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down and lift my seat off of the chair and come back down. Some of you might not be lifting it off the chair, that's fine, as long as you're engaging those push down muscles. So I push down, maybe my seat comes off the chair, and then I lower myself gently. Sometimes I can just push and there's not movement, but you can feel it in your arms. That's a lower intensity. If you want a little higher intensity, you can come down below the chair and push. Make sure your feet are wide and your chair is stable and not going to tip. Make sure you have a good stable chair. Otherwise, be cognizant that you're seated on the chair and not on the edge. That's going to cause it to move forward. And I push up. I pause, I come down, I push up, and come down, 3 more. I push up, maybe I'm not moving, that's okay, and come down, push up, come down, last one, up off the chair, and down. All right, shake out those arms. Those are small muscles, they don't get used too much. We have one more exercise to do standing. So if you're ready, we'll stand on up. Again, have that chair next to you so that you can use it if you need to. This one, you can either use the chair or the wall. I'm going to show you the single version, and then we'll show you the multiple version. This is working on a little bit of power in those legs, as well as maybe working a little bit on increasing the speed of your movement, which is important. If you're walking and you catch your toe, you need to really react quickly and help yourself so that you get that foot back under you. What I would like you to do is you're going to start in a tandem position, although your feet are one behind the other. So one is forward, one's back, but my base is still wide in between. I'm going to hold on to my chair. And then what you're going to do is just bend a little bit. I want you to try to switch those legs as best you can, forward, and then the other one goes back. If you can't switch them fast at the same time, see if you can switch that other one back fast or fun. You can switch them both at the same time, just one hop, get yourself, make sure that base, the trunk is up. And again, if you can't do it, just push that foot forward and back quick, forward and back quick, and hold on if you need to. If you want to do the multiple version, it's called the mountain climbers. You can do it on a wall, where I just have the wall and I'm just switching. I could do it on a chair. If I'm a little lower, it's going to put a little bit more requirement on my arms and my core. And I'm just switching my feet back and forth. We're not used to pushing up on our feet like that very often. Again, it might be that you just are going to move your feet forward fast. If you can switch their place, that's great. And again, it doesn't have to be very long. So if you can do it and it's not even a big step out, that's fine. If you can do it and it's a little bit bigger, great. And then stop. We're going to rest. That's going to not only help our endurance, but it might get us breathing a little harder. We're going to do one more of those. So pick which one makes the most sense. Against the wall, on your chair. Again, make sure your chair's stable. My feet are a good width apart. One is in front of the other or ahead of the other. And I can either do the singles or I can just switch one and then catch myself, make sure I'm still in a good position, or I can do the repetitive one. We're going to do that for a count of 10. Okay, make sure you're nice and stable. Pick which one you want to do. Trunk is up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great. Should be breathing a little bit more rapidly right now. Those were great functional exercises. You could be doing those with some weights if you needed to. You could do it with TheraBands. You can increase the intensity by how far or wide the movement is, how fast the movement is, how stable the movement is. So those are lots of adaptations. Hard to give you those without knowing you, but be safe. Make sure your chair is steady and secure, or use a wall or a table. Be mindful that your base of support is wide and your trunk is up, and only do as many as you can. And not can right at that moment, but start slowly before you work up to doing more than that or more days a week. You might try 2 days a week, but give time in between this and the time you do it again so that your body has time to rest and recuperate. So let's end with some stretches. We're not going to do the whole body stretches, but the most important parts to stretch. Again, I told you that front of the shoulder, they tend to get flexed in there. So what I'd like you to do is open your shoulders. You can grab your fingers or your wrist and just open those shoulders back, pull them back like this, and then put your chin down towards your chest. You should feel it in the front of your shoulders and in the upper part of your back and your neck. Unlike our dynamic warm-up, we want to do this slow and hold those positions and do some nice, easy breathing. And relax. Let's do our straddle stretch. So just opening those legs and then leaning over my weight towards this one side and feeling that stretch inside that thigh. Again, those thighs can get really tight and we want to keep them nice and stretched. So I'm stretching that inner thigh. Again, I'm holding that position. I can hold on if I need to. Nice gentle breaths. And come up. Let's switch to the other side. Feeling that stretch right in there. Nice gentle breathing. Holding on if I need to. And our last stretch is those hip flexors, those muscles that get tired and tight. So I'm going to stretch. I can either use the wall or use a chair. Again, a nice stable chair. One leg is in front, and the one behind is the hip that I'm going to stretch. So that comes back. My heel can come up, And then I just bring my hips slowly forward to feel that stretch right in front of my thigh and hip. So let me show you that again. My leg is back, my heel comes up, and as my heel's up, I just bring my hips forward till I feel the stretch. Once I feel tension, I hold it. It shouldn't be painful. Just feeling the beginning of tension and holding it there. Maybe a count of 12 or 15, nice and slow. It takes time to get that stretch. And we'll switch legs, same thing, my legs back, and I bring my hips forward. If you're not feeling it when you bring your hips forward, you might want to try to stretch that leg back just a little bit. Great. Well, that's thank you for joining me at Fitness for Function #1, and hopefully you'll join me at the Fitness for Function #2, which you'll see will be a little bit of the same and some different functional exercises for us to add in. So keep exercising, be safe, and I hope to see you again.